Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
All concerned are hereby advised that the main branch of the GUT Cooperative Credit Union Limited, located on the corner of Grenville and St. John Street, St. George's, will be closed on Thursday 19th and Friday 20th January 2023. This closure has become necessary to facilitate the relocation of the branch to our new office on the corner of Halifax and Cross Streets, which will be operational from January 23rd, 2023. Management apologizes for any inconvenience caused and reminds all members that our branches at Victoria, Grenville, Grandance, and Carriacou are available to serve you. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This is Network News for Tuesday, January 17, 2023. In the headlines, police investigating allegations of a fugitive, child abuse, and drugs relating to a female foreign national. $20,000 bail granted to 30-year-old mechanic accused of assaulting 16-year-old boy with a gun. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell's policy supports a zero-tolerance approach to guns and ammunition. In around the globe, regionally, Trinidad's Electoral College to convene on Friday. Internationally, European Union pushes forward with Green Deal industrial plan for clean tech. Plus in the sports news, Grenada loses a football legend. Good evening, I'm Kenroy, Baptiste at Television Center at the Grenada Broadcasting Network. We'll be back in a moment.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Thanks for joining us. Allegations of a fugitive child abuser currently on island. Christina John is following this story.
The Royal Grenada Police Force has confirmed that they are in receipt of an email which claims that a 35-year-old female Caucasian child abuser from the U.S. state of Florida living in the parish of St. George, Grenada. The sender of the email, who claims to be the biological father of the 4-month-old child, alleges that the infant is being exposed to drugs and physical abuse at the hands of the mother. He said videos and images have been sent to the Grenadian authorities over the weekend. Officer heading the Community Relations Department, Assistant Superintendent of Police Simon Douglas, says he was informed by his superior that this matter is being looked into. Information will be provided as it comes to hand here at the GBN. Christina John, GBN News.
Now, Ali Charles, a 30-year-old mechanic of Latat St. Patrick, who is alleged to have assaulted a 16-year-old schoolboy with a gun on Saturday, has secured bail. We get more in this Nisha Paul report.
Ali Charles made his first court appearance before Magistrate Kina Maras at the St. David's Magistrates Court on Tuesday. The 30-year-old mechanic posted $20,000 bail with 2 sureties and no objections from the police prosecutor. As part of his bail conditions, Charles was ordered to surrender all travel documents to the court. He also has to report to the Sates police station every Monday and Thursday. Charles was also instructed to have no contact with the complainant in the matter brought against him. The St. Patrick resident reportedly held a gun to the face of a 16-year-old boy who had moments earlier cautioned him about engaging in an inappropriate conversation with his younger sister. Lawmen caught up with the suspect in the Westerhall St. David area hours after the incident occurred in Pomrose last Saturday morning. Police have also recovered a .38 pistol and 2 rounds of ammunition. This discovery has resulted in Charles being slapped with additional charges for possession of a firearm and ammunition. At the time of his arrest, Charles was in the company of Ryan Cato, a 22-year-old laborer of Boca St. George. Cato is also facing possession of firearm and ammunition charges. The Boca St. George resident also appeared before the St. David's Magistrates Court to answer to the charges on Tuesday. Cato has also posted $20,000 bail with 2 sureties and similar conditions, except he was ordered to report to the Central Police Station. A third individual, identified as 22-year-old Dorian Felix of Bellevue St. David, was also picked up by police investigators. However, no charges were laid against her. Both Charles and Cato are being represented by attorney Jerry Edwin. They are scheduled to reappear before the court on March 24th. For GBN News, I am Nisha Paul.
Other news: if cabinet ministers give support to the strict policy on firearms of the Prime Minister and Minister for National Security, those who want a license to own these weapons will have a tough bargaining ahead. Cherry and Blackman Stephen reports.
I'm not a fan of private persons holding firearms, and that actually includes ex-police officers. And so, to me, and I'm making this clear, and I hope I can get support from my colleagues, I intend to take a zero-tolerance approach to firearms in our communities.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell's response to a question raised by a retired police officer over the payment of fees for possession of a firearm during a town hall meeting in Carriacou on the weekend.
So, I'm just letting you know my philosophy so you could get a sense of the policy that I will be pushing. Of course, I'm the Minister of National Security. I can't impose it. But if my colleagues in the cabinet support the policy, that will be the policy. We need to keep our country safe. There is a direct relationship between the amount of firearms in the community and the amount of gun violence. And so I am unapologetic about that. If you want a firearm, in my view, you should pay the fee associated with the firearm.
Wanting to ensure that Grenada remains a safe place with little to no gun violence, Prime Minister Mitchell made public his personal policy on firearms.
Persons have a right to apply, and if vetted by the police, they do have a right to be issued with a firearm. But I've indicated to the police officer, you have to, in my view, demonstrate an exceptional need for the firearm. I accept that because of the nature of work carried out by police officers, that upon retirement, they may be able to demonstrate the exceptional need for them continuing to be issued with a firearm. But I will say to you honestly, it will be a hard thing for me to suggest that they shouldn't pay the license fee if they wish to have the firearm.
The Prime Minister said that our islands are under constant threat from the importation of small firearms in particular. Prime Minister Mitchell reminds all that we should not take the safety of our country for granted.
But the idea that we should be walking around with firearms, in my view, is inimical to our culture, to our way of life. And for good measure, the last time we had a lot of firearms in Grenada, you all know what happened on the 19th of October, 1983. So I don't think we need another clear example why we should leave firearms for police officers only, and in my view, the security apparatus, unless you can demonstrate an exceptional need to have one.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Bullying and conflict resolution in schools was the topic of GBN's Beyond the Headlines on Monday. Beverly Telesford listened in and has this report.
Zero tolerance for violence in schools. During Monday's Beyond the Headlines program on bullying and conflict resolution in schools, Head of Counseling at the Ministry of Education, Pearson Stroud, solidified the Education Ministry's stance on a series of incidents recorded in multiple schools in recent times.
The Ministry of Education is very clear and is very adamant that some of the recent incidences that we've had in the school is totally unacceptable, and under no circumstances will these things be tolerated. The Education Act is very clear in Section 182, Section 1, that anybody who seeks to perform any acts of violence, trespass, assault, they are liable to any form of, should I say, legal action. And so the ministry is very, very, very clear that these are unacceptable acts.
Stroud was responding to two incidents which occurred over the past 2 weeks, resulting in violent confrontations on school compounds. The first incident resulted in a charge being brought against the parent of one student of a secondary school in St. George for assaulting a child, while the other incident left several relatives charged for trespassing and possession of offensive weapons for an unrelated incident involving a teacher at a different secondary school in St. George. With regards to bullying, children's right advocate, attorney-at-law Lady Anande Trotman Joseph responded to claims that the new generation is, quote, soft. She said values and society have changed over the years, and the influence of the media has a part to play in the way the issue of bullying is handled.
Wouldn't speak to it as soft. Some of us are tougher, some of us are softer, and so on. But of course, culturally, especially speaking about boys, you would say that a soft boy was a sissy in those days, in the earlier days. But of course, now we cannot discriminate that way. I think it is nature, nurture, lived experience, and just as you said, cultural influences. Mm-hmm. So what we would see sometimes, there are lots of fights that are being circulated, going viral on either the WhatsApp or the Instagram or Snapchats or Facebook or wherever it goes viral. And so sometimes children are bullying for attention.
The incident involving the parent assaulting the student was caught on video and was said to be a case that stemmed from bullying. That parent was charged with causing harm and was placed on $4,000 bail with one surety. She will make her court appearance on February 24th. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
All right, before the break, this story, consistent with its commitment in the 2023 budget to mitigate the high cost of living on the population, government has reintroduced the petrol tax with effect from January 18 at a lower rate of $3.50 instead of the $5.50 rate previously charged. Now, as a result of this policy, government will forego an estimated $18.8 million in revenue this year. Gasoline price moved from $11.19 per gallon to $15 per gallon, an increase of $3.81. Diesel price increased from $12.82 to $15.84 per gallon, a difference of $3.02. We can tell you too, the price of kerosene was $12.77 per gallon. It is now $13.38 per gallon. The price of a 20-pound cylinder of cooking gas remains at $40, while the 100-pound cylinder, which was $283.15, is now $293.85, a difference of $10.70. Bulk gas price moves from $2.90 to $3 per pound. The petrol tax was temporarily removed in September of last year as an immediate cost of living relief measure. This is Network News. Still ahead from us, Grenada mourns the passing of Ann Hopkins. We'll tell you about some of her remarkable contributions. Stay with us.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy. Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Solar lights are back in stock and will be available for purchase at Southern Electrical. Here is a list of the solar lights that we offer. 200 to 300 watt intelligent floodlights with camera, 300 to 500 watt solar street lights, 60, 100, 200 and 500 RGB solar floodlights, 100, 200, 300, 500 and 800 solar floodlights, solar garden lights, 25, 40, 60, 100 and 200 watt solar floodlights, 3, 7 and 10 watt solar wall lights, motion center garden lights, motion sensor floodlights, 30, 60 and 90 watt solar street lights with accessories, 5 watt solar wall lamps, 40 and 60 solar street lights, and 100 and 300 solar floodlights with battery power display. Now available at Southern Electrical, Dusty Highway, St. George. Visit our showroom today.
You ate well, drank and indulged, laughed and had so much fun for the festive season. But now it's time. It's time for some serious detox business at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Start the year right with your health as a priority. Cleanse and flush your blood, liver and kidneys with quality herbs and supplements. Purchase one of our detox combo packs starting from $100. Purchase a full body detox pack starting from $500. Get 10% off on colonic irrigation. Get a chance to win a free colonic irrigation treatment and product coupons with every purchase. We are located in Grandin, minutes before the Food Fair Shopping Center, immediately opposite the old Capital Bank building in the Regency Commercial Suites. Give us a call at 231-6642 or 418-7115 or visit nirvana.gd for more info. It's time for some serious detox business at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. We know real body care. This offer is valid until March 31st, 2023. Terms and conditions apply.
When I need shelter, warmth, security, I know you'll be there. Something in these moments lets me know you care. Maybe the way you shield me, maybe it's your smiles and the way you tell me it's okay to try. Now I'm invincible. I can back my sack. I can take the long road. 'Cause it's okay to look back if I am scared. I know you're there. Arise, together there's no limit to what we can do. Arise, with no wings, fly. Arise, and we're so high, enjoy the view.
This is Ariza, your financial freedom, your future.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Bingo! Ladies and gentlemen, we say thank thank you for playing Megapulse Promotions Bingo. So, on Sunday, January 29th, 2023, from 5 p.m. at the National Stadium, we say it's appreciation time. Get ready to win $50,000 in cash. Yes, $50,000 in cash to be won. And hear this, tickets are only $20. Plus, the first 1,000 persons get a complimentary drink. Whoa! Now that's how we say thank you. Bingo fans, see you on January 29th at the National Stadium. As we say, it's appreciation time.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Rebecca Television Center, Grenada is grieving the passing of former nurse Ann Hopkin. Mrs. Hopkin made an overwhelming contribution to all aspects of the health sector in Grenada with an aim to make it better for all. Winifred Thomas has the story.
Grenada has lost yet another great contributor to its society, as many mourn the passing of Mrs. Ann Hopkin. Mrs. Hopkin was a nurse by profession for over 30 years in the United States and Grenada. She voluntarily gave her service to Grenada's health sector in all aspects. As one of the founding members of Grenada's Kidney Society, Ann Hopkin was known as an educator. President of the foundation, Mava Gills, said she was one of the organizing pillars of the NGO.
Ms. Hopkin is a founding member. She has been a member since 2007. She has been the main pillar in terms of her education and health committee. She has touched the lives of almost all Grenadians, one way or the other. She has been a member of numerous non-profit, non-governmental organizations. There are numerous times when I would call on Ms. Hopkin and say, hey, this patient need this patient need that. And the next day I will get a phone call. It's all done. Ms. Hopkin has been a pillar not only to the Grenada National Patient Kidney Foundation, but I believe Grenada on a whole.
The Grenada Kidney Foundation was just one of the many NGOs in Grenada the retired nurse served on, as she was an active flow member of the Grenada National Council of the Disabled and former president, treasurer, and secretary on other boards such as the Grenada Cancer Society. Dr. Sonia Nixon, interim chair of the Grenada Cancer Society, spoke of her interaction with Mrs. Hopkin. She says more Grenadians should emulate the service of Hopkin to society.
I think we could ever be able to understand the greatness of this woman's duty, the way she took on her stewardship as a health professional, even in her retirement age, because most of us know her as a retired nurse. I don't think we'll ever be able to encompass the duties, the contribution, her stewardship within the health sector, all for free. I hope those of us who volunteer would take her as an example, as a mentor. The things she's done simply because she wanted to do it.
Dr. Evelyn Spencer, president of A Friend of the Mentally Ill, said mental care was also a great passion for Mrs. Hopkin.
Like I said, her age did not stand in the way, and probably we could start again.
Go ahead, yes.
Nothing stood in her way. There was an occasion when she and one other member would have marched in Carriacou, the streets of his borough, solely, and participated in education, in an educational endeavor at that time. But mentally ill and really had had the mentally ill had a special place in her heart and in her life. She will be sorely missed by us all.
Despite being in her 80s, Mrs. Ann Hopkins was described by many as a vibrant and active woman who was God-fearing and committed to the well-being of others. She passed away on Sunday the 15th of January following a brief period of illness. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
President of the Public Workers Union, Brian Grimes, is asking that the individuals representing government in two outstanding labor issues honor their responsibility and meet with the union to resolve the issues. More in this Rena Pett Thomas report.
President of the Public Workers Union, Brian Grimes, is calling on Labour Minister Claudette Joseph to address challenges creating a barrier to reaching a solution. He indicated that a 7-year-old issue within the Ministry of Finance has been on the back burner of the government's mind as the employer refused to meet to discuss the matter. One of the employees who was seriously affected by this is passed away and yet to receive his benefit.
Now, you have a situation where a worker has died without receiving justice simply because the employer or the representative of government, the hierarchy within that ministry, is not turning up to the conciliation meetings. That is not good enough. It is something that may be beyond the scope at this particular time, so there may be legislative changes to ensure that people come to the table in terms of fines, penalties, things of that nature. But in the interim, the union is of strong belief that the ministers in question could say, well, you have this matter, whether it's a PS or some other senior official, go to this matter, because access to justice is very, very important.
The union leader also spoke of the issue involving workers on the sister isle of Carriacou that was laid off last year.
Workers who were unfairly dismissed on the sister isles. It created a sort of firestorm. When we spoke about it, I believe it was August of last year. The representative of government in those conciliation meetings, the first meeting exited prematurely. The other meeting called an hour before. Those meetings were in October, and said they cannot make it. And in January 12th also, they called and said they couldn't make it. In the meantime, these people are out of jobs, right?
Grimes has said a resolution to that issue is yet to be met, as he claims that persons are not paid for their holidays, among others.
I heard about certain situations with one or two of them. Banking institutions are calling them for their monies and so forth. So they are sort of reneging on loans and things that are really beyond their control, right? Because, there is no consistent income. But added to that, the level of injustice with this matter, it's hard to encapsulate. When these workers were terminated, one, they did not get a hearing, which is a fundamental aspect of natural justice, but basic things were not given to them. For example, they have holiday inside, they were not even paid for their holiday. These are former government workers. So this is not a good reflection on the government of Grenada.
He is calling on the Minister of Labour, Claudette Joseph, to use her power to help resolve the issue. GBN called the Labour Minister to comment on the matter, but was unable to reach her. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
The semi-final list is out, containing the 20 artists moving on to the second stage of the Independence Calypso competition. More in this report.
Coordinator of the Independence Calypso competition, Adrian Marks, says this year is the greatest experience he has had since being coordinator. This year, he notes, there are a number of new artists with new entries.
This year, we see 44 entries. When I will say it again, 44 entries for the Independence Calypso competition. I just can't place my hands on the new ones there, but there are plenty of new ones. I could point out a few of the old ones, but there are plenty new ones. And surprisingly and encouragingly, I can see that we have a good fraction of ladies in the competition. This year we see more than 5. We have about 7 ladies in the competition, and that augurs well for Independence Kaiso in Grenada for to come.
Mark says among the finalists there was a tie for the 20th position. Overall, there are 21 names in the competition to be held at the Lassagest playing field on the 28th of January. The names are as follows.
My finalists, we have Samantha Dixon, Heidi Charles, Otta Stevens, Sarana Mitchell, Teddy Christopher, Leon, Laura Richardson, Newton P., Monique Cummins, Jason Joseph, Godson Agard, Nivian Cock, Edison Francis, Joliba Regis, Michael Prince, Joseph Telesford, Abraham Lewis, Damian Lapompe, Ray Samuel, Narissa Baptiste, and Charlton Charles.
Mark explained the rationale behind the increase in prize money for the competition this year.
Since the Calypsonians were clamoring for years that they would like to have an increase in prize monies. And I think this year, because there is an increase in prize money, I think it attracts a lot more Calypsonians to the competition.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express. WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
Hello again. The Youth Emergency Action Committee will facilitate a training session for residents of the Sister Isles next week in a bid to get the residents there disaster ready and prepare them to respond to emergencies. Former disaster coordinator at the National Disaster Management Agency, Sylvan McIntyre, will be joining the team.
You may have heard us that next week in Carriacou and Peachy Martinique, the YEAC, Youth Emergency Action Committee, I will be supporting them in an initiative doing CERT, Community Emergency Response Team Training. Now, the communities are most vulnerable in any society. That's where people are. And any entity, any resource that is really put into communities is very useful and is considered a worthwhile investment.
McIntyre says it is an important session as emergency and disaster preparedness should be taught at the community level.
It is critical that the people who are there, they are resourced. And it is unfortunate at this stage, resources may have not made itself available to empower communities more. But But it makes good sense, good national, financial, and economic sense to be able to resource our communities to respond or to react to situations.
All right, so the Community Emergency Response Training will run from January 23 to 27. The Corinth Government School in St. David is the recipient of a brand new photocopier and printer through sponsorship in part by the National Lotteries Authority. The school made a request for assistance with the purchase of a wireless Xerox VersaLink photocopier and printer that can also scan documents after their copier was deemed irreparable. According to the principal of Corinth Government School, Jocelyn Augustus Latouche, they had already received a $1,000 gift, but needed over 3 times that amount to purchase the new copier locally. They sought to ask the National Lotteries Authority, which covered the rest of the cost. The photocopier, printer, and scanner was priced at $4,039.61. The NLA contributed $3,039.61 of that amount. On Friday, January 13, 2023, Principal Augustus Latouche accepted the office equipment during a presentation ceremony at the NLA's main office on the Carenage in St. George, stating that it was timely and necessary. Stay with us. We'll be back with the sports news and around the globe. This is Network News.
It's your Gifts of Love for Cheer 2.0. Tis the season for holly jolly days at the communal. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Getting on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2023. Share the gift of love. Offer ends January 31st, 2023. Lending terms and conditions apply. Gifts of Love with Cheer.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Granville, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Here is a little known fact. There is only one place in Grenada that you can get an MRI scan done. That place is Spicile Imaging Center. Yes, Grenada, that's the truth. Other centers could offer you other scans, but Spicile Imaging provides an authentic MRI scan. Here's another little known fact. Spicile Imaging has 3 centers. We operate at Grenville, the Carenage, and at the Ocean House, Grand Anse. We provide the widest range of laboratory tests and services. CT scans, x-rays, mammograms, ultrasounds, and a host of other services. We are fully staffed by a team of family doctors and specialists. Call us today at 444-7679 or 440-1500. or visit any of our 3 locations. Spicile Imaging, from seeing the doctor to getting lab tests, scans, and pharmacy services. We are here to take care of you.
Your life is yours, your future's in your hands. Your body is yours, that's why you need a plan. You gotta plan your family, avoid HIV, get the from the Grenada Planned Parenthood Association.
We offer
for STI screening, gender-based violence counseling, prenatal and postnatal checks, injectables, condoms, pap smears, and other sexual reproductive services. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Pointe Street, St. George's. Whether male or female, it doesn't matter. We're here to make your life better.
Grenada Planned Parenthood Association.
For appointments, call 440-3341.
Sporting fans, hello. The top story, the football fraternity of Grenada is mourning the passing of former national footballer and coach Andrew Brother Munro. Munro, who is described as a local hero, touched the lives of many. Brother, as he was affectionately called, coached at all youth levels as well as the senior men's and women's teams. He's one of the most decorated GFA Premier League coaches and was instrumental in the many successes of Hurricanes SC. He played in 4 World Cup qualification games, including 3 in 1996, and assumed the head coach role for the 2017 Caribbean Cup qualification campaign. Our condolences to his family and friends, also colleagues. Still talking football, GFA's Independence Tournament is off to a great start. The 2023 GFA Independence Tournament kicked off over the weekend with a number of matches at several venues across the island. GFA's Communications Officer, Ria Murray, has the results of the matches played.
On Saturday, we had 2 matches being decided via penalty shootout. St. John Sports played Shamrock, and the score was 2-2 within full time, and then Shamrock won the match via penalties 5-4. Then SAFL and Honved played also to a 2-2 draw, and SAFL won via penalties 4-3. FC Camahon beat Sunjets United 3-1 at Queen's Park. We also had a number of matches being decided by default. So Monkridge FC moves ahead. We also have SAP Spartans moving forward and Sunsetters moving forward via default. On Sunday, the action continued, and we had Eagle Super Strikers playing North Stars. They played to a 4-4 draw, and then North Stars won via penalties 5-4. We also had another match being decided by penalties, Hard Rock FC versus Shantimel. It was a very competitive match. They played to a 2-2 draw, and then Hard Rock won via penalties 5-4. Paradise FC winning against Monjaloo very convincingly 6-1. The Royal Grenada Police Force losing to St. David's FC 1-0. Queen's Park, they won their encounter convincingly 3-0 against Mount Horn. That was at Queen's Park. And then we had Hampshire United losing to Springs FC 2-1. That match was at Bouchejou. And today we have 3 matches scheduled. We have Hurricanes SC versus Happy Hill FC at the Alston George Park from 6 p.m. Christian Strikers facing 5 Stars from 5:30 p.m. this evening at Queen's Park. And then we have Fontenoy United playing Combined Northerners at Bouchejou from 6 p.m.
Meanwhile, as part of a major women's football thrust, the GFA will be training a number of women to secure their D coaching license. The course will run from January 23 to 27. It will be facilitated by Heather Dash, FIFA, CONCACAF, and U.S. soccer instructor. Participants met last week with officials of the GFA to discuss the course and their expectations. To basketball now, the Subway Inter-Secondary School basketball competition moves into Day 5. Day 4 of competition concluded on Monday in both the male and female divisions at various venues across the country. Communications Officer in the Ministry of Sports, Karine Moraine Alexander, has more.
Here are the results from Day 4 of the Subway Secondary Schools basketball tournament played on the Grenville, Caranage, and Guave hard courts on Monday, 16th January 2023. In the game, SAS versus Grenada Christian Academy, SAS came out on top with 36 points and GCA 20 points. Top scorer for GCA, Rashid Joseph with 10 points. Top scorer for SAS, Christoph Callis, 13 points. In the game at Westerhall Secondary School and the GBSS came out on top, 109 points. Westerhall Secondary School, 16 points. Game MVP, Jaden St. Louis of GBSS with 22 points and 18 rebounds. And that was for the male division. In the female division, Happy Hill Secondary School versus St. Joseph's Convent St. George's. St. Joseph's Convent St. George's came out on top with 19 points and Happy Hill Secondary School 6. Game MVP Eva Shook of St. Joseph's Convent St. George's with 7 points. St. Mark's Secondary School and MacDonald College male teams played against each other today at the Guave hard court.
All right, that's the sports news for now. The Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is set to elect a new president. Here's all we can tell you. The Electoral College is set to convene this Friday, January 20, to consider the election of Christine Kangaloo to the office of President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, the Electoral College is made up of all members of the House of Representatives and the Senate assembled together. However, a quorum of only the Speaker, 10 senators, and 12 other members of the House of Representatives is necessary for the Electoral College to proceed with the election. Earlier this month, Kangaloo was nominated by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. This story to report. Guyana's Minister for Home Affairs, Robertson Ben, says that they are not happy about the drug traffickers who are repeat offenders being granted bail. More in this HGP TV report.
The issue of repeat offenders being granted bail in large drug trafficking cases is disheartening to the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, and both the Minister of Home Affairs, Robertson Ben, and the head of the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit are not happy about it. Minister Ben was approached for a comment on the issue on the sidelines of the destruction of more than 90 pounds of cocaine and more than 1,000 pounds of marijuana seized by Canoe for 2022.
Yes, we're not happy about it. We're not happy about people who are repeated users or traffickers being granted bail. We're concerned, too, in some instances where it appears that they're related to the use of illegal firearms and that they seem to be getting off lightly otherwise in terms of sentencing.
Head of Canoe, James Singh, while reiterating that the government of Guyana is serious about fighting narcotics within Guyana and that Guyana will not be used as a transshipment point for narcotics to other territories, is disheartened by the fact that repeat offenders are being granted bail.
But here it is, we've seized you with the drugs, we seized the drugs, we've arrested you, we've put you before the court, only for you to be placed in bail. It's a bit disheartening at times, yes.
But could the issue be linked to poor prosecution by Canoe?
I would not say poor prosecution because thanks to the Attorney General and the Guyana Police Force, we have lawyers seconded to Canoe for the first time to assist us in doing proper prosecutions and also the links between narcotics, money laundering.
The Canoe boss also highlighted another issue that they're faced with in the fight against the drug trade.
What is a bit disturbing is the fact that the time in which it takes for a case to be completed. Why I do not want to criticize the judiciary, I guess there's a backlog, but it doesn't help when you arrest someone today and they're placed on bail and their case is not being called until 4 or 5 months after.
In 2022, 3.7 tons of marijuana and over 124 kilograms of cocaine were seized from various ports of entry and through operations conducted by KANU. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
Further afield, European Union President Ursula von der Leyen outlined her Green Deal industrial plan that aims to push through subsidies for green industries and boost funding for EU-wide projects. The plan would help the EU pursue its goal of being climate neutral by 2050.
At the heart of the joint vision is our conviction that competition and trade are the key to speeding up clean tech and climate neutrality. And that means that we, Europeans, also need to get better at nurturing our own clean tech industry. We know that we have a small window to invest in clean energy and innovation and clean tech before the fossil fuel economy becomes obsolete. So we have an industry at the moment being challenged by the pandemic, supply chain issues and price shocks. We see aggressive attempts to attract our industrial capacities away to China and elsewhere. We have a compelling need to make this net zero transition without creating new dependency. We've learned our lessons from the fossil fuels, and we know that future investment decisions will be taken now, depending on what we do today.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
All right, stay with us. We'll be back. We'll be back to remind you of the headlines. The battery dead? Continued programming on the Grenada Broadcasting Network after the news. A reminder of the headlines. Police investigating allegations of a fugitive, child abuse and drugs relating to a female foreign national. $20,000 bail granted to 30-year-old mechanic accused of assaulting 16-year-old boy with a gun. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell's policy supports a zero-tolerance approach to guns and ammunition. And around the globe regionally, Trinidad's Electoral College to convene on Friday. Internationally, European Union pushes forward with Green Deal industrial plan for clean tech. Plus in the sports news, Grenada loses a football legend, Andrew Brother Monroe. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online, gbn.gd, or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Kenroy Baptiste. That's all from us in the newsroom. Thanks for watching. Good night.